If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check the referral links down in the description. They'll take you to g2a.com. They already have a discount on most of their goods already, and with the code CHES at checkout, you can get yourself an extra 3% off as well. Hey guys, how's it going? Ches back again and welcome to episode number 4 of the Inter Milan career mode here on FIFA 15. You guys really seem to be enjoying this series so far, which is fantastic. If you enjoyed this episode as well, then of course feel free to hit that like button and show your support in the comment section. We're still looking for some transfer targets and we'll get to that a little bit later on in the video. We did do a lot of transfer work yesterday, so if you missed the last episode, then check it out as there is a link in the bottom left hand side of your screen, or of course feel free to just drop over to the channel page itself and you'll find it over there or in the playlist. But we're starting with a 4-3-1-2, which is the default formation at present here at Inter for this first friendly against Bayer Leverkusen, a side that technically should be better than us because of course they're a Champions League team by default and we are, after Inter's performance last year in the league, a Europa League team this year. And comparatively the squad's probably a little bit stronger on their side, although we probably have more depth as a squad as a whole, rather than the outright ability of the opening first team 11. But we were having the best of the game here. Although, be honest, with the 4-3-1-2, sorry, I was a little bit out of sorts with it. I didn't enjoy not having the width. It did feel like a very narrow formation. I tried to get my wing backs pushing further forward when I could, with Cavander at right back, the new signing, and Davide Santon at left back. You see Cavander here making the work down the right hand side with that electric pace. Gets it into the middle. Decent shot by Palacio, well saved by the keeps, and then unfortunately the secondary shot was well blocked by the defender. It was a comfortable save for the goalkeeper. Bayer Leverkusen didn't threaten too much. I felt comfortable with my 4 defenders at the back, although they were able to get the ball into the back of the net. As you can see here, Hakan Çalhanoğlu was on the score sheet and then subsequently wiped off the score sheet because he was offside. Heung-min Son delayed with the cross, and that meant that Çalhanoğlu ran just a little bit too far with the last defender, and we ended up with a 0-0 draw from that first friendly. So I wasn't too sure what to make from it. I didn't enjoy the 4-3-1-2 formation, so we went into the next friendly against Hull with a 3-5-2, an attacking 3-5-2. There are 2 options with 3-5-2. We got this one, and then where Podolski is, that position with the other variant of this particular formation is him as a CDM, with the 2 centre mids pushed a little bit further up. So we're trying the attacking one here because, with all due respect to Hull City, they are lesser opposition than Bayer Leverkusen. So I wanted to, kind of be a little bit more attacking minded, a little bit more open offensively, and we were definitely that in this second game. Palacio here clean through, as you can see, and I felt more comfortable with having some wide players in midfield, so I had some options out wide as I got further up the pitch. However, with 3 centre backs and not having my normal wing backs, I did feel a little bit more open defensively. So it was a weird one. I felt better going forward than I did in the Leverkusen game, but more vulnerable at the back than I did in the Leverkusen game. So it's kind of hit and miss. As you can see, we're having a corner here just before half-time in stoppage time. Juan Jesus is going to knock it back to Freddy Guarin, and he's going to have a rasping shot that's well saved, actually, by Jakubovic. And I'm looking forward to, hopefully, scoring a couple of really nice long shots with Freddy Guarin in this series. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, he has a fantastic shot from distance, and that is kind of something I want to exploit, if I possibly can, in this series. But Shaqiri goes on a really nice run here. Sets up Lucas Podolski, who actually has a very good finish there. I was playing Podolski at cam. I felt that he was probably better for me in a central role, considering we had Nagatomo out wide on the left-hand side with Shaqiri out wide on the right. And obviously, Nagatomo is faster than Podolski by quite a margin. As you can see here, being used down that left-hand side, and Palacio will get it back to him. Real good pace. Gets into the box after Podolski has already made it 1-0, and we're going to win a penalty in the 68th minute. It was just Nagatomo's, he's just too fast for the defender to cope with. Maino Figueroa isn't the slowest of defenders by any stretch, but he still couldn't cope with the Japanese striker, and winger into the box he went. Tug of the shirt, down goes Nagatomo, and it is a penalty to Inter Milan. So Mauro Icardi is going to be the man to step up to take it. Not necessarily clicking with him so far, I'll be honest. Palacio and Dybala are the 2 players that I'm enjoying playing with most at present, or at least out of the 3 strikers. But Mauro Icardi has definitely got some work to do to impress me. But his work rate is commendable, so maybe he will get some first-team football ahead of Dybala and alongside Palacio. But as you can see, they're not the hardest of offside decisions for the linesman to make. Curtis Davis well offside, a good 10 yards or so. So we do win 2-0 from the final from the second friendly, sorry. And we went back to the menus. These games were actually kind of 2 or 3 days apart, which is weird. We don't have any actual Serie A games until the end of August. But the three friendlies came within a week of each other as we crossed over from July into August. But we got some transfer action in between the Hull City game and the Wolfsburg game, with Felipe having an offer put in for him. So I tried to counter offer that because I am looking to get rid of him. And then in this third game against Wolfsburg, probably the toughest of the 3 opposition we faced today, I went with my more familiar 4-2-3-1 formation to see how the team felt with this particular one this time. And obviously Wolfsburg, like I say, better than Hull definitely, and arguably better than Bayer Leverkusen as well, especially on the form they're in real life this year. Definitely better than Leverkusen. Obviously, a few of their players have had some upgrades as well with the new download latest squads that we did when we set up this particular career. But obviously, later on in the year, Kevin De Bruyne is obviously one of their most attacking players. But they started Nicholas Bentner up top, and he was involved straight away, having a decent effort there. I felt more comfortable possession-wise because obviously I'm more comfortable with this formation, more familiar with this formation. So I always felt, when I was in possession, I knew where to look to find a teammate to get, the passing and the moving going. I felt more solid defensively as well with my 4 at the back, but weirdly, I was struggling to put some moves together, or at least struggling to create chances. We had a couple of free kicks, one here that Drives, unfortunately for me, didn't fall back into his net, although it did look like he was going to just kind of lose his balance and flop backwards over the line with the ball. And then Gila Voga breaks into the box here. Good save from Handanovic after a top shot from Kevin De Bruyne. Nice work by Gila Voga to get it into the box, actually. Wolfsburg were definitely the better side in this game. I've got no qualms in saying that. And Andre Schürrle with a great shot. Not sure whether Handanovic should have maybe done a little bit better with that. It was quite a powerful shot, but it wasn't necessarily the most well-placed of shots. So maybe Handanovic should have done better. But made 2 changes, and Mauro Icardi came on this time. I started Dybala up top in the 4-2-3-1 with Palacio at cam, as you saw earlier on. Jonathan playing down the right-hand side now, stands the ball up. Icardi wins the header. He's quite good in the air, actually. He's got like 90 jumping or something like that. At the very least, it's in the high 80s. So obviously I wanted to try and utilise that. But like I say, I was quite comfortable in possession. As you can see here, we're playing the ball about quite nicely, creating some chances. But I just didn't feel quite as creative as I did with the 3-5-2. So we ended up losing this game 1-0 against Wolfsburg. So the 4-3-1-2 that we had in the first game, which was the default formation, I'm definitely not going to use in the season upcoming because I didn't feel comfortable with that one whatsoever. The 3-5-2 I was actually quite comfortable with offensively, and defensively I think if I played with that formation more often than not, I'd get used to it. And the 4-2-3-1 against tougher opposition, I didn't feel quite as strong as I normally would do. Perhaps this side isn't necessarily, at this moment in time, good enough for me to be able to play the sort of possession football I want to play at this level with this current quality we have in the squad. So I'm going to start the game against Torino in the next episode, and again with the 3-5-2 that we played against Hull. I'm not sure whether I'll play it with the attacking cam and 2 centre mids or the defensive CDM and 2 centre mids. Haven't yet made up my mind, but between now and then, as you can see, we've got 2.5 to 3.5 weeks worth of transfer window still to go before that first game of the season on deadline day. I am definitely looking for a left-sided midfielder. And I'm definitely looking for an all-round centre mid. We only have about 15 million to spend right now, so I'm trying to move on a couple of other players if I possibly can. But I am going to start with the 3-5-2 formation. Today was kind of an experimental episode to find out which formation was best with this particular set of players. And I think we should be good with this 3-5-2. If I can just figure out how to work myself defensively. I wouldn't mind, actually, if the left-sided midfielder was kind of, I don't know, Quadro Asamoah-esque, where, they're good offensively and defensively, an all-round left mid, so they can push forward and track back. That would be sort of what I was looking for in that left-hand side of midfield, with the all-round midfielder in the middle being able to do the same attacking and defensive work, whilst we have Shaqiri on the right in just kind of out-and-out attack mode, so that we can still have at least some width all the time going forward. But that's my feelings right now. So let me know your suggestions in the comment section for a position or players in the positions that we mentioned just there. A left-sided midfielder that can do both attacking and defending, a centre mid that can do both attacking and defending, and we'll have to wait and see if we can move someone else on and free up some extra funds. But that will have to happen next week, because of course this is going up on Friday, so the next episode of this series will be going up on Monday. If you don't know what and when I upload, there is a schedule in the description of every single video, so check that out so you know what I upload and when I upload it. But we will be streaming Football Manager over on twitch.tv later on tonight as well, so check the link in the description to my Twitch channel. Follow me on Twitter as well so you're bang up to date with everything that goes on with me, and of course check the channel page later tonight for a Career Mode Road to Glory episode. But that will be it for now. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.